Hey guys, K.R.J here. Welcome back to my random channel where I make random videos about things I'm a fan of. I have wanted to make this video for a long time. Ever since Ruin came out, really. I wrote it and I recorded it, but then I thought, wait, I should watch some other people's playthroughs and theories to see if I missed anything. So I did that for a while, and then I was rewriting and rewriting. But then the movie came out and I was focused on that for a while. And then came Christmas, which is the busy time of year where I work. After Christmas, I realized I missed out on Help Wanted 2, then I figured I should check that out just in case it confirmed anything from Ruin. I was close to giving up on this video, but then MatPat announced his retirement and I said to myself, you know what? No, I can't give up. This man inspired me to make my own theories. I should do this to honor him. I salute your send-off, MatPat. All the best to you and your family. But anyway, here we go. I'm not gonna make this a long as heck video like last time. That video was boring in my opinion, so just a short-ish video. Was the mimic Michael? Now let me explain. Once again, I have not read all the books, but I'm sure we all know where the mimic came from by now. But I heard in the books the mimic reads in this weird language of shapes, which is what we find in the secret room, which is the room from Sister Location, which is where Michael used to live. I don't know how canon the Tales of the Pizzaplex are, but a reoccurring theme throughout all of the FNAF books is robots trying to blend in with humans. So, was the mimic copying Mikey at some point? His face has old plates that resemble a human, and he has this weird brown hair-like stuff. You know who else has brown hair? Michael. Now, I'd like to talk about Candy Cadet for a minute. Back during FNAF 6, I thought all of his stories were based on Elizabeth mixing up all the animatronics to make a new body for her father, just like she does in the books. That's what I thought the Blob/the Tangle's original purpose was. All except for one of those stories. The story about the woman in the basement with the 5 keys. I always thought that was a story about the Afton family mother. She had discovered what her husband was up to, and she tried to save the children, but she failed. And she probably ended up dying herself.
I know your mum after she lost the custody case.
So in Candy Cadet's story this time around, a mother is protecting her child from the mimic. The monster is clearly the mimic. It learns the lullaby and then lures the child inside. Was this Mother Afton trying to protect the last of her children, Michael? What's in the basement of the Afton house? The Sister Location. Mike was lured down into his father's basement trying to find something. And from what the tape said, the mother is gone somewhere, most likely dead. Now, when most people think of the Afton mother, they think of Ballora. The child was lured down by a lullaby. The only character who has a lullaby is Ballora. I don't know if it's canon that it's called Ballora's Lullaby, but when I looked up Ballora's Lullaby, her Inside These Walls songs popped up. So, was Michael lured down to the Sister Location by the mimic singing the song that his mother sang about her husband? Then he was tricked by his own sister and scooped. All the while the mimic was watching over Michael, learning his habits like eating popcorn and watching TV. Then when Mike puked out Enid and supposedly died, the mimic took his place whilst Mike was living in the shadows. Also, remember that clattering and clunking we can hear in the vents of Sister Location that are never explained? Was that the mimic's first encounter with Michael? When he first started copying him? It's a possibility. Most believe that it's Michael we play as in FNAF 6. But was it the mimic we were playing as all along? It would explain why the mimic is under the Pizzaplex in the FNAF 6 location. Okay, so what I know of the books is that the mimic was sent to the Pizzaplex to clean it and then was mass-produced, but then it went wild. But the thing is, the mimic was built in the 80s, but the Pizzaplex didn't even exist until the 2020s at least. So anything could have happened between those times. The mimic could have escaped that fire in FNAF 6 and then wound up once again in Fazbear Entertainment's possession. And it's part of my own timeline that FNAF 6 takes place in the early 2000s, after FNAF 1 location is shut down. What makes me think this is that this newspaper says that no other business partners want to team up with them anymore. So they desperately reached out to people with no business experience to carry out their franchise and recycle all their old machines. So yeah, anything could have happened to the Mimic in that time. It's just an idea which I thought was pretty cool, and what if we were playing as the Mimic the whole time? The Mimic has killed a lot of people, and animatronics don't need to wash their hands, so he would have a bad odor, and it's likely he's witnessed people working on other animatronics and it made it want to tamper with them. And there it is, guys, my FNAF RUIN theory, or one of them at least. But before we end the video, I want to cover the oval elephant in the room. No, not that one. In my last video, I said that Michael was Springtrap and William was Scraptrap. I have since found out that Scott confirmed William is Springtrap, which made me feel quite stupid. However, I'm still gonna say that Mike could be Springtrap, and here's why. Scott has changed his mind before. Ruin is the best example of this, since this was labelled real ending, but then it was revealed that this was the real ending. Also, Dream Theory was once very valid, we saw that in the movie. And when they started, the books weren't canon, but oh, the Mimic's here now. Also, during the trailer for FNAF AR, you can hear I've been living in shadows, and then we immediately see Springtrap, which is what I thought was a confirmation that Mike was Springtrap. Plus, Springtrap and Scraptrap look so different. My original theory was that Scraptrap was once a rock star, and Springtrap was once a toy. Also, Springtrap has no voice lines in Ultimate Custom Night. Scraptrap is the one saying the catchphrase, "I always come back." I mean, if Springtrap and Scraptrap are meant to be the same, just have Springtrap say, "I always come back," and that would clear it up. Even in FNAF AR, Springtrap never speaks like William Afton. He never says, "I always come back." He says, "I'm back," not "I'm back again," or anything else along those lines. I'm not saying that I still believe Mike is Springy Boy, I'm just saying I can't be bothered to change my entire theory and timeline based on one post that Scott made 6 years ago. Besides, now that we have the Mimics, Scott can say anyone was the Mimic all along. Either way, I can just say it's a headcanon. But that's all I wanted to say, you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Have a phaserific day.